Rousey, Roman Reigns, the WWE superstar, congratulations. Roman Reigns' extravagant persona has enthralled millions of WWE fans worldwide. His fame keeps growing, and he has a sizable fan base. It's time to congratulate the OTC on reaching a personal milestone. Since the night Braun Breaker teamed up with Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins to destroy him and CM Punk, Reigns has not been seen in action. In order to intensify the dispute, the original Bloodline leader was written off television. Since then, fans have been eagerly anticipating the return of the original tribal chief to television. His admirers have cause to rejoice today, but it remains to be seen when he will return. Roman Reigns is the 7th WWE superstar to reach 10 million Instagram followers. The fact that Roman Reigns isn't promoted for Money in the Bank or Saturday night's main event suggests that he won't be appearing on television for some time to come. Both veterans and fans have criticized his part-time position. Jonathan Coachman, a former WWE commentator, described how the product is suffering because to the OTC's absence. He already misses 2 or 3 months at a time, and you need your greatest star as long as this narrative persists that everyone is having trouble with tickets and TV viewership. One of the company's 3 biggest stars, Roman Reigns, is unproductive and simply stated, "It's likely that this will be my last deal. I have 3 more years to achieve it." What is all he can do? He appears on the show perhaps 15 times a year, if you will. But will Roman Reigns make a comeback to bring the Bloodline back together? Examining hints following Jacob Fatu's ultimatum on SmackDown. Since the Raw following WrestleMania, Roman Reigns has not been involved with the WWE. Many events have occurred in the Bloodline saga on SmackDown during his absence. Even though it appeared that the OTC had moved on, there remained a chance that he would become embroiled in this family turmoil once more. When he returns, the 39-year-old might create a new chapter in the Bloodline. Solo Sikoa made fun of Jimmy USO on SmackDown this week, informing him that Reigns had left him high and dry. The Street Champion intended to demonstrate to Big Jim that, in contrast to the original Bloodline, his faction, which included JC Mateo and Jacob Fatu, was united. That was not the case, though. It appears that Fatu is not in agreement with Sikoa and company. This week, the Samoan werewolf issued an ultimatum, declaring that JC Mateo is not related to him and that he dislikes the latter. Jacob Fatu is adamantly opposed to Solo Sikoa's efforts to cultivate an outsider. Roman Reigns can enter the Bloodline storyline at this point. He might feel obligated to resolve his family quarrel because he is the unquestioned tribal chief and the head of the table. Roman Reigns could unite the Bloodline by bringing Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, and the Usos, all of his actual family members, under one roof. JC Mateo and the Tongans, Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, and Hikuleo, may be on the opposing side. If it did, it would cause a huge upheaval and start a completely new WWE story. With the Anoa'i family members on one side and the non-Bloodline members on the other, this may result in a hugely popular plot. But the scenario described above is only hypothetical, and only time will tell what actually occurs. Roman Reigns will participate in this year's SummerSlam as part of the Bloodline saga. One of WWE's largest yearly events is SummerSlam, and the corporation frequently creates high-profile matches for its biggest talents. On Roman Reigns, there have been inquiries on his plans for the spectacular event. He does not appear to be a part of the Bloodline tale at the PLE, though. Seth Rollins has been at the center of Reigns' latest Raw plot. Following the events at WrestleMania 41 and the subsequent Raw, he has a score to pay with his old Shield brother. As a result, when he returns, the OTC is anticipated to continue his plot with Rollins. It is anticipated that this feud would continue throughout the summer, culminating at SummerSlam 2025. But at some point in the future, Roman Reigns might be involved in the Bloodline story. At this stage, it doesn't appear that his plot will intersect with it. Nothing is certain, though, as Triple H's time is notoriously unpredictable. What is next for the OTC will only become clear with time. But, for some strange reason, Ronda Rousey refused to tap out to a major WWE star because she believed her mother would never speak to her again. For a very strange reason, Ronda Rousey declined to submit to a top WWE superstar in a major match. The triple threat match between Rousey, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch was the main event of WrestleMania 35 in 2019. Lynch won the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships after clumsily pinning the baddest woman on the planet at the end of the bout. An intriguing detail regarding the match's conclusion was disclosed by Becky Lynch in her book. She was meant to force Ronda Rousey to tap out clean in order to win the titles of Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion, according to the man. But for an odd reason, the 37-year-old declined to complete the finish. If the baddest woman in the planet tapped out to Lynch, she thought her mother would never speak to her again. It certainly sounds like a strange excuse on Rousey's behalf, and it will be fascinating to see whether she returns to the Stamford-based promotion in the future. At WrestleMania 34, Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle defeated Stephanie McMahon and Triple H in her first match. Later, during the SummerSlam 2018 Premium Live event, she took home the Raw Women's Championship. At the 2018 Survivor Series, Becky Lynch and Rousey were scheduled to face off in an interbrand match. Charlotte Flair took Lynch's spot after she was injured by Nia Jax just a few days prior to the event. Later, the three women dominated the show of shows and engaged in a feud on the road to WrestleMania 35. Rousey took a long hiatus from WWE following her defeat by Lynch at WrestleMania for the Raw Women's Championship. After 3 long years, she made a comeback and triumphed in the Women's Royal Rumble match in 2022. Instead of starting a feud with Lynch when she returned, as many fans had hoped, she started one with Charlotte Flair. Rousey defeated Flair to win the SmackDown Women's Championship after losing to her at WrestleMania 38. The man lost the Raw Women's Championship that evening when she fought Bianca Belair at the Show of Shows. It is quite improbable that Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey will ever engage in a singles feud. But at one point during this week's WWE Raw episode, Ronda Rousey broke down in tears. In sit-down interviews, Rousey and Shayna Baszler discussed their friendship and illustrious past, starting with their days in mixed martial arts. Rousey became somewhat emotional as they discussed their time spent competing in MMA. At one point, Rousey started crying, and the two celebrities both became emotional. As she talked about how Rousey had sparred with her for practice, but had never reciprocated when it was her turn, Baszler was also showing her emotions. She also questioned how quickly she rose to prominence in the WWE. She also remembered being Ronda Rousey's baby's godmother. Everything has been set up from the beginning for her to be promoted to this role in spite of the efforts of everyone who came before her, including me. It took place in MMA. I'm finished, and it's taking place here. I'm over it. With many great remarks from fans following the concert, both performers had a story that truly resonated with the audience for the first time since the conflict started. The two will compete against one another under MMA rules at SummerSlam. It might be Ronda Rousey's final match with the WWE, as there have been rumors that she has requested to quit the organization. Greetings and welcome to my channel, dear viewers. I hope you're having a great day. I'm Lima. Please subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the video.